On the docket tonight, one of the most gruesome and disturbing cases that we are tracking here on Closing Arguments. Taylor Schabusiness is the name of the defendant. She's from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Take a listen.
Taylor Schabusiness, the woman accused of killing a man, violently attacked her own attorney during the competency hearing. Just prior to the attack, the judge had postponed her trial until May 15th. She's accused of killing a man last year in his Green Bay home and later dismembering his body. She's charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault. During the competency hearing, Schabusiness's attorney asked for the trial to be adjourned because a doctor who had evaluated Schabusiness was unable to attend the hearing. The judge agreed to push back the trial until the middle of May, at which point Schabusiness attacked her own attorney, as seen in this stunning video.
Stop. Stop it.
Officers restrained her and removed her from the courtroom. The judge ultimately decided to reschedule the competency hearing to March 6th. In Green Bay, Noelle Friel, NBC 26.
So she's charged with the murder. She's also charged with sexually assaulting the corpse. She's also charged with dismembering the corpse and leaving the head of the victim in a bucket in his mom's basement. Sick stuff. So what is the defense here? How do you defend this? Well, our great producer, Cody Thomas, was going through some of the papers and filings in the case and came across what the defense is going to argue here to try to get out from under some of these charges, including those sexual assault charges. Take a listen.
Christopher T. Froelich, on behalf of the defendant Taylor Schabusiness, moves the court to formally dismiss the charge in count 3, third-degree sexual assault, due to lack of evidence. Third-degree sexual assault, as defined, is committed by someone who has sexual intercourse with another person without consent. Sexual intercourse is defined by any intrusion, however slight, by any part of a person's body or of any object into the genital or anal opening of another. The state alleges that a sex toy was placed into the anus of the alleged victim, yet the state lab report yields an inconclusive result for DNA evidence. Any claims that the defendant placed a sex toy into the anal opening of the deceased is without merit based on the state of Wisconsin Lab of Hygiene reports. The defense also argues the victim was not a person at the time of the alleged incident, as he was deceased. The defense asserts that once the person is deceased, they are no longer a person as defined under the jury instructions and statute. The defense argues that the victim's penis was detached from his body and found on February 23, 2022, when law enforcement came to the home at Stony Brook Lane. There were apparently other alleged body parts found in a Jimmy Choo bag, in an Under Armour bag, and in a crock pot box found in the Chrysler minivan. The defense argues that it would be unlikely and almost impossible for any sexual assault to occur with how dismembered the body was when found. The penis was not attached to the body and was therefore unable to function due to its condition.
Let's bring in the think tank. Is this defense going to fly? Nima Romani, what do you think?
It might actually have a chance. It's not going to matter a whole lot because it's a lesser offense, but it's one of those law school hypotheticals. If the victim is dead, did Schabusiness actually commit sexual assault, because it's got to be a living person? So it's really going to depend on Wisconsin law and how they interpret it. But obviously, we know the more serious charges are there, the murder, the tampering with a corpse, and no matter what, this defendant is going to go down for a long time. These insanity defenses are very difficult. I mean, she killed him with a chain. I mean, it's such a gruesome murder that she's not going to get away with this one. And the good thing for her defense lawyer, after that attack, he was able to get off the case. So good for him.
Eklund, Mercy, it's amazing that a defense to one of the charges here is that not guilty because I already murdered the victim and I already dismembered him.
Yeah, well, you know, as a defense attorney, you have to take all of your defenses. I think that they're actually waiting. If I was a defense attorney here, you need a psychosexual evaluation. You need a psychological evaluation. The difference is that although she's going to have a competency hearing, that's just saying if she's competent for trial or not. And that is definitely a lower bar. We need to understand what her motivations were and whether she can even help in her defense. Based on the charges, I think that the public defenders need to make a request for funds so we can get an expert to really see what is going on with this woman. I think that is more than just, I don't think that they would be comfortable proceeding with a murder trial if she's already exhibiting all these things right now. So I think that the defense still has a few things that they need to look into before we even think about trial right now.
Kirk, have you ever been attacked by a client?
I'm sure I've had one that wishes she could attack me. And I tell you, Vinny, this is a great time for me to mention how happy I am. I'm not practicing law anymore. The attorney in this clip actually was a colleague of mine back in Arizona. He was a public defender. We worked together in Maricopa County. He moves to Wisconsin and he gets attacked by Miss Schabusiness. And
wow.
Yeah. So, it certainly makes me happy that I'm not in that situation anymore. Maybe what Nima says, a law school argument, but it's the grisliest type of law school argument. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I do think her sanity will become an issue, but I agree with Nima. I don't think it's going to fly in this sort of case. And I think while some of the lessers may go away, I think the main charges will be enough to put her away for life.
So Nima, just for all of us, where is that line? Because anyone who commits crimes like this, we know that they're different than the rest of us. We know they've got some level of something wrong in their mind. But where is the line between you are, there's something wrong with you, but you're a criminal, and there's something wrong with you and you should not be held legally responsible?
Which state is slightly different, Vinny, but it basically boils down to this. At the time of the offense, did you suffer from a mental disease or defect that renders you unable to know right from wrong? And that's really it. I mean, here's someone that she gets upset at her lawyer because the judge is continuing the case a few months. She clearly understands what's going on and what's right and wrong. So again, not going to fly, but that's really the test. That's such a high burden to meet. I mean, the burden's on the defense to prove it as opposed to the prosecution, which normally has the burden in these types of cases. So that's why it doesn't fly, but it's really the defense of last resort when you don't have any other possible defense in this case. Let's not forget, we have a videotaped confession in this case. So, I mean, it's really kind of all wrapped up nicely in a bow for the prosecution here.
All right, folks, take a look. We've got a motion hearing coming up on June 13th, Wisconsin versus Taylor Schabusiness. One of the darkest cases that we're tracking here on your front row seat to justice.